And do you mind? Yeah, okay. And so, do you mind if I make some photo or video while
Sure.
we are meeting?
Yes,
That's okay.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I thank you so much for this. So,
Okay.
first of all, I found you online, and it was a great thing that I found you online. Thank you so much for having a page, a Facebook page, having information in English. That's very important for everyone that is outside of Japan. Thank you so much.
Okay, and so you said that you are organizing an NPO in Portugal, so between so to how can I say that encourage the relationship between the Portuguese and the Japanese. When did you establish that organization?
So this was established in 2013, so several years ago, and our main goal was to create opportunities for the Portuguese to know more about Japanese culture, and also for the Japanese that come to Portugal to work or to study to know more about the Portuguese culture. So we organize cultural events, exhibitions, guided tours, classes, that sort of thing.
I see. So did you have any special particular how can I say reason or impact that you studied to that such kind of organization? Have you ever been in Japan for many times?
Yes. So I've been coming back and forth between Japan and Portugal for many years because my academic research is about the historical relation between Portugal and Japan. And
you have a long relation.
Yes, and the cultural heritage. So in Japanese, it will be bijutsukan, like art history, and also sekai-san, so cultural world heritage.
Okay, that's good. Yes, Japan and Portugal has a long history. So maybe this from the 17th century or something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
so I was doing that research. So I was going back and forth between Portugal and Japan. And I understood that there were no other organizations doing this kind of things, especially for the general public, open to anyone. So I decided to do that, and I've been doing that together with many other volunteers.
Okay, good. So, but you said you found so the your member or followers, they don't know they know only a few things about the Japanese visa matters. So yes, and then you want to yes, inquire more about Japanese.
That's why I prepared some questions for you, because I have web page and YouTube and a lot of social media. People address me with some questions that I cannot answer. So that's why I searched for you. So you are prepared and professional, and you can answer these questions that I cannot. And I hope that this helps people that have a plan to go to Japan in the future and to prepare better for that.
Okay, good. And yes, you already sent several questions. And so how can I start? So
okay, I start for the first one. So considering a citizen of Portuguese nationality and therefore a citizen that is part of the European Union, what are the main advantages or disadvantages that I mean the person should take into account in an immigration process to Japan?
Okay, so so as an EU members, so like the general situation, not COVID-19 pandemic situation, Portuguese citizenship has a visa waiver system. So if a Portuguese citizen want to visit Japan, so you don't need to apply the visa of the Japanese embassy. In other words, you just buy a ticket and come to Japan, and you can stay for 90 days for the longest. So it is a good advantage for the Portuguese. And sorry, I tried to check this matter, but I didn't have a time. So do you have does Japan and the Portuguese have a working holiday agreement already or not yet?
Yes, we do have working holiday since
Good, okay.
2018, I think. Very
Ah,
recent.
good. Okay, so that is a good point. Advantage for the Portuguese students who want to look for a job, who want to work in Japan. So without entering the Japanese language school or other academic organization institution, so they could apply working visa at Japanese embassy in the Portuguese, and they come to Japan, and they could stay 1 year. And so during this stay, so you can look for the job opportunities, or they can how can I say so learn many Japanese cultures and language. So this 1 year opportunity could be very advantage for the countries who has a working holiday agreement, because looking for the job from the overseas, it is how can I say, extremely difficult. So coming to the Japan and looking for it with their own eyes, I think it is good opportunity for them.
And after working holiday visa, I think is only until 30 years old, right?
Right.
There's an age limit. So if the person does not have that age limit, is like 33 or more, that means it's not eligible for working.
No, not for working holiday visa.
So if a person goes just with a regular visitor, not necessarily visa, because it's just a tourist, so it doesn't actually need a visa. But if that person goes to Japan as a tourist, can that person search for a job in Japan and then try to change afterwards?
No, tourist visa is generally cannot be changed to any other visa, like a working visa or business manager visa or something like that. So only when they get married, the Japanese or someone who staying in Japan, foreign resident, they could change visa status to the marriage related visa, like a spouse visa or dependent visa. But for working visa and for working and for like opening a business or for student, those visa cannot be changed from the tourist visa. So with tourist visa, they can search the job opportunity or school or those activity they can do they wish, but they cannot change visa status. But exceptionally, if you already have some companies and you need to do some interview physically visiting Japan and with those company, so then you get a job offer, so you can apply eligibility. So then if they get the COE eligibility within the 90-day staying, so you can change visa status with COE document from tourist visa to the working visa. So this is very exceptional way. So generally, the COE eligibility is someone who is staying outside Japan. So, but during the visiting, during the staying with short-term visa, tourist visa, so they can apply COE, and if they get the COE during the short-term stay, so they can without going back to the Portugal, so they could change visa status directly. So this is an exceptional method.
Thank you so much for the enlightenment about this. So our second question is, are there differences or difficulties for the immigrant to be able to rent a house in Japan, or to be able to drive, or to be able to open a bank account? That is also something that people ask me.
Okay, so when somebody come to Japan with a long stay visa, so the renting a house is not so much difficult. So the usually in Japan, when one try to make a rent contract, the house agency requires some guarantor or something, but if the newcomer from the overseas, they don't know anybody else who can be a guarantor in Japan. So they have some there's some company, guarantor company, they're gonna be the guarantor instead of the individual guarantor. So generally, so they don't have any difficulty to make a rent contract. And the driving, so the international driving license is 1 year valid. So within this international driving license is valid, so they can take a test just like a actual driving test, and then they can change the driving license to the Japanese domestic license. So,
the test is a driving test, and the test is in Japanese.
If they're gonna change the driving license, they don't need take a writing driving test.
Good.
So yeah, but if they don't have any license from the international license, yes, of course, they need to how can I say attend some driving lessons, and so sitting lesson, also the actual driving lessons, and then you take a test. So, but I think many foreign residents who cannot read and write Japanese, they pass the driving license test. So they're gonna take they can how can I say some way for the foreign not non-English, non-Japanese speakers could pass those kind of tests. So I didn't have a time to investigate for this issue, but later I'm gonna send some link or some information about this matter.
It's okay. It's already much better than I thought. I thought that people would have to go to the lessons in Japanese full time.
Yeah, so
it's already better. And the second one is and the third one is bank account. So
bank account, yeah. So the individually, so they can open bank account without any difficulty. So if they have a address in Japan, so if tourists, they cannot open a bank account, but once they come to Japan and they register their own address, they can open bank account easily. So if if someone open a company in Japan, it's a foreigner's company owner, they have some difficulty to open the account with a company name, but for individual, no difficulty.
Okay, so the main point is to have a contract for a house, because people need to have residence address.
Yes. So when you come to tourist visa, so you cannot register address. Okay, so only who has a visa more than 4 months, so they can register address, and they can open a bank account. Also, they can join the national health insurance. So so holding the longer than 4 months visa is how can I say, it's an age line to be a resident or not.
Thank you so much. So the third question is about, should a non-Japanese citizen who wants to come to work to Japan obtain a visa that allows him to do so while still in his country, or is it possible to change? We already covered this question when you said that it's important for people to ask for a long-term visa, like working visa or study visa, when they are outside of Japan. That is the standard procedure, right? So changing the visa when they are already in Japan is very exceptional, as you said.
Yes, once you come to Japan with tourist visa or other visa and the long stay visa, so they could change visa status if as long as they satisfy the all requirements for the particular visa. But yes, the visitor and tourist visa cannot change to the working visa generally.
So the fourth question is, are there criteria or conditions that can help a person to be eligible to immigrate to Japan? For example, is it important to have a proof of proficiency in Japanese or any other thing?
Well, so at first, we in Japan we don't have general immigrant system. So the if you want to work in Japan, so you need to get the job offer at first. You need to get a work visa for working for the particular company. Or if you want to study in Japan, you need to find a school at first and proceed the administration procedure. Then you could get the student visa and come to Japan. And like if for the family visa, you already have you already get married in Japan or marry Japanese people or the foreign resident in Japan, then get the marriage visa, spouse visa, or dependent visa to come to Japan. So anytime you need to have some particular purpose, but particular target why you need to come to Japan. Otherwise, just working for some company or working for some school. So nobody cannot come get visa.
So it's a system based on pretty much invitation. So the company invites the worker to go to Japan, or the school invites student to go to Japan.
Okay.
So,
all right, the visa system. So if you stay overseas, and so like for example, working visa, if you get a job offer from a company in Japan, the company in Japan apply COE at Japan at immigration in Japan. So COE is a certificate of eligibility. So once the certificate of eligibility is granted, the company sends that document to the people overseas, and this COE document, so foreigner can apply visa at Japanese embassy in their country, and then get the working visa. They can come to Japan with what and work. So always for people overseas, COE eligibility is for the first time what you need to get, and so this is also procedure is in Japan. So that's Japan English immigration in Japan. So the school in Japan or the company in Japan or the family in Japan or the spouse in Japan, only them they can apply COE for those people.
That is a very important point, because I receive many messages and emails. People think, generally speaking, people think they can go to Japan first and then search for a school or a job. I would say 90% of foreigners have this misconception, which is not realistic.
Yeah.
So it's a very important point.
It is how can I say, general common idea for immigrate to other country, but for Japan, so we don't have a general immigrant system, so that's why. So you need to get a visa at first, so like a particular visa.
Thank you so much for the information. So we already covered the issue of the student visa and work visa. We already covered the question number 5, and the question number 6 is, are there conditions that make it impossible for a person to be eligible to immigrate to Japan? For example, being of a certain nationality or having a criminal record. Is there any condition of such kind?
Nationality, so there is any banned country, so equally that any country can enter Japan. But have criminal record, yes, we have. So that if you have some criminal record in your own country or other countries, so that, they cannot enter. Like if it is more than 1 year sentence or something, or something related to the drug. So they cannot enter Japan. So no matter what, with what visa, tourist visa, and if they have a long stay visa, so they cannot enter Japan. And also if the person who used to stay in Japan and some criminal record in Japan, also they are banned to enter Japan.
Yes, that's a very important thing to know, because Japan is very strict in terms of laws related to drugs and related to works in certain fields of work. So it's very important for the foreigners to know that even if they have a working holiday visa or a working visa, because they are foreigners, there are some kinds of work they cannot be involved in. And also they need to be very careful about involving themselves with drugs or certain types of crimes, because they can be banned from Japan.
That's right. That's right. So as I told you, to come to Japan, so there are 3 steps. So for foreigners who staying overseas. So the first one is the company or the school or the family need to get COE at immigration in Japan. And also the second one is they need to apply visa at Japanese embassy. So even if the COE is issued with some reason, so some people cannot get a visa, the visa application is refused at the Japanese embassy. And the third one, the last one, is when they enter Japan. So even they got COE and also visa from the embassy, but for some reason, so they cannot enter Japan. So any foreigners have these 3 hurdle to enter Japan.
It's very good to know that. So almost finishing the questions, the question number 7, are there any acts or behaviors that can cause a person to lose the right to be in Japan, even after having gone through the immigration procedure and obtained a visa? For example, committing a crime or working illegally.
Okay, so it means the person who already entered Japan. So this question, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Japanese visa is generally the 1 year or 3 year, 5 year period. So for example, working visa holder. So if they work for the big enterprise or something, they from the beginning they could get a 5-year visa. But if the small company, so they could get a 1-year visa for the first time, so they need to extend the visa. So for each extension period time, so if that person does not satisfy all conditions, like lose a company, no more, or working illegal or somewhere else, or did commit some crime or something, they cannot extend their visa anymore, and they have to leave Japan.
So every time it renews, all the conditions are revised, so to speak.
That's right.
So in your experience as a lawyer, as an advisor, what is the most fundamental knowledge do you think it's important for a person to know before starting an immigration process to Japan?
Okay, so I think you need to set a own target at first. So what do you want to do in Japan? To study or to work, or so what else? So if to work, I think getting a job offer from if you're staying overseas, it is very difficult to get a job offer. So if so, you need to find some way to come to Japan and stay in Japan. So for so the option 1 is a working holiday visa for young people, and for option 2, if the over 30 or already stayed a holiday visa one time, so so the student visa might be the second option for them. So for student visa, so they need to complete a 12-year education. Then they're gonna get the language school, and so to get the working visa. So generally they need to graduate 4-year college, or they have a more than 10-year experience for industry or skillful job. Okay, so if unfortunately if you are not you don't have a diploma, or if you don't have a 10-year experience, so if so, then you don't have any possibility to get working visa now. So you need to change your mind, shift your target. So so you need to build your experience in Portuguese or somewhere at first, or you need to go to the college, or you need to go to the Japanese language school or a college. So there are several colleges who operate the classes in English. So if they don't have they don't graduate in university in Portugal, but they could also come to Japan and entering Japanese university even without speaking Japanese. So
some of them in English.
In English classes. So I think there is some how can I say, option for them.
That's very important, to have a target and then a focus, and then to plan in advance in order to create the conditions to be eligible for the visa.
That's right.
Thank you so much for your information. I would like you to explain to people that are watching this video, if they want to contact you and your office, how can they do so?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the maybe the contact information to you, Ines-san. Also, I'm how can I say, the operating the Facebook page, and currently there are more than nearly 40,000 people who follow there. So I'm very glad you to join my Facebook page, and then we're gonna how can I say, the exchange our information and our experience. So then so I'm very glad to join anybody to our Facebook page, or if you have any personal inquiry or something, you can send a message for my email address. So Ines-san, please share my contact information to them for the English speaker. So I cannot speak Portuguese, but
no, it's fine. English is fine. English is fine. Thank you so much. I will share your information, and I will extend my invitation to everyone watching this video. If you have questions, if you have doubts, please don't just go to Japan first. Please ask for information first to the legal personnel, like this kind of professional that can advise.
How can I rumors and fake information around the world? So I think it's very important for everybody to grab the right and how can I say, effective, the latest information.
Yes, thank you so much. I will share also. And again, if anyone wants to send more questions to us, either to me or to my interviewer, please ask away, comment on this video, because we can make a second video if you want to. We can answer more of your questions.
That's a great idea. Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right. So,
big hugs from Portugal, sunny Europe.
Next time. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye, everybody.